$600 billion. Just try to wrap your head around that number. That's the staggering amount of money the world's biggest tech companies are projected to spend on infrastructure in 2026 alone. And where's all that cash going? Well, according to analysts like Bruce Liu over at Goldman Sachs, there's really only one answer. He puts it simply, 2026 is going to be all about AI. And folks, this isn't just hype. We're talking about a tidal wave of capital that is literally reshaping our world. So today, let's pull back the curtain. We're going to look past all the fancy code and the mind-bending algorithms to uncover the physical reality of this AI gold rush. And let me tell you, it's a story about concrete, power, and some serious global bottlenecks. All right, here's the game plan. First, we'll look at the insane amount of money being thrown around. Then, we'll see how that demand is basically breaking reality. We'll get into the nitty-gritty of the global supply squeeze, check out the financial and geopolitical shockwaves this is causing, and wrap up by figuring out what it really takes to win in this new AI landscape. Okay, let's dive right in. We're starting with the money, because the numbers fueling this whole thing, well, they're on another level. We're talking about capital expenditure, or CapEx, on a scale we've literally never seen before. Just look at this jump. It's wild. The big five hyperscalers, the giants like Amazon, Google, and Microsoft, are projected to jack up their spending by 36% in just 1 year. They're not just going to hit that $600 billion mark in 2026, they're going to blow right past it. This isn't normal growth. This is a full-blown supercycle. And get this, where is all that money actually going? A whopping 3/4 of it, that's $450 billion, is going directly to AI infrastructure. Think about that. We're talking servers, GPUs, and these massive, sprawling data centers to put it all in. So, you've got all this cash flooding the market, right? You'd think building the future of AI would be a piece of cake. But there's a problem, a huge problem, and it's hiding in plain sight. And that brings us right to our next section. This is where the shiny, digital dream of AI smacks right into the hard, unforgiving limits of the physical world. The challenge is no longer about raising money, it's about pouring concrete. You see, the whole game has flipped on its head. For years, the biggest obstacle in tech was finding the money, getting funding. Now, money's not the problem. The bottleneck is the actual stuff. The concrete for data centers, the power grids, the transformers, all the boring but essential infrastructure you need to make AI actually happen. And if you want a perfect example, just look at the cloud provider CoreWeave. Demand for their services is, in their own words, insatiable. They added $25 billion to their order backlog in a single quarter. Insane, right? But then, their stock tanked 30% in a week. Why? Because they basically had to admit, we just can't build this stuff fast enough. And listen to this quote from their CEO, Mike Trader. It just says it all. He's saying there's basically no one on the planet who can build an infrastructure fast enough to meet this demand. This isn't a CoreWeave problem. This is a systemic, global crisis. The whole supply chain is just completely overwhelmed. So this huge infrastructure problem trickles down, right? And it creates this intense, micro-level crunch. All of a sudden, it's an all-out battle for the tiny, critical components that make everything work. Just look at TSMC. They're the ones making the world's most advanced chips. In the third quarter of 2025, more than half their sales, 57%, came from high-performance computing. You know what that is? That's AI. It's completely blown past smartphones as the #1 thing driving demand for the best chips on the planet. And all that demand is causing a massive memory crunch. We're seeing shortages everywhere. At the same time, DRAM is getting squeezed, especially the older DDR4 stuff, plus NAND and NOR flash. I mean, these are the absolute basic building blocks for every server, every device out there. And here's where you start to feel it. The mad dash to build AI data centers is sucking up all the memory on the market. This creates what's called a crowd-out effect. And it means other things get delayed. Yeah, like NVIDIA's next-gen gaming GPUs, because there literally aren't enough parts to make them. Now, these physical problems, they don't just stay on the factory floor. No way. They spill out into the real world, creating huge waves in the financial markets and seriously cranking up geopolitical tensions. There's this really cool idea from supply chain research called supply chain contagion. It's basically about how risk spreads from one company to another. Get this. When a huge customer's stock crashes, it can actually predict that its supplier's stock is going to crash too, just a little bit later. So here's how it plays out. Step 1. A big customer runs into a problem. Say they can't build their data centers, and their stock just plummets. Step 2. It takes a while for investors to figure it out, to connect the dots and go, wait a minute, This is terrible news for their suppliers. And then step 3, the supplier's stock crashes, sometimes a week or two later. It's this delayed reaction that's so fascinating.
And this whole supply squeeze isn't just about money. It's deeply geopolitical. This battle for parts has become a central part of the global chessboard, especially when it comes to the US and China.
This situation with ASML is the perfect example. So ASML is a Dutch giant that makes the machines that make the chips. Under pressure from the US, they're now going to stop servicing some of their equipment that's already inside China. This is a huge move. It's aimed right at the heart of China's tech industry, and it's basically forcing Beijing to double down and try to build its own independent tech.
So, what's the takeaway from all this? Where are we headed? Well, we're at a massive turning point for the entire AI industry. This is one of those moments that completely redefines what it even means to be a leader in the space.
It used to be that the winner in AI was whoever had the smartest algorithm or the most cash to burn. That's not the game anymore. That era is over. Today, the new winner is going to be the company that can actually execute, the one that can navigate this supply chain mess and master the real-world challenges of construction and logistics.
So when you think about the real threats to this AI boom, it isn't a lack of good ideas. It's not a lack of money. It's a shortage of data centers. It's a crunch in memory chips. It's the physical limits of our power grids, and it's all this geopolitical tension. The real battle for AI supremacy isn't happening in the cloud. It's being fought right here, in the physical world.
And that leaves us with one big question to chew on. If the AI race isn't won by the biggest spender, but by the best builder, then who is actually going to be able to execute when the pressure is on?